Wait. Penelope's been Hawkshaw the whole time? What? What?
Why
What?
did
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But
What?
before
I
we
guess I should have
begin,
guessed
isn't
from
there
the
a certain
voice.
formality demanding our attention? Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so
Penelope.
curious.
Penelope.
justice for Freya?
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
This wasn't about Freya.
What? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, 3 times now?
Exactly.
Yes.
How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook.
Kind of, yeah.
Indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? Suppose I can't argue with
She's a
that,
murderer.
can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her
The cryptid
and
hunters,
to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
It's true.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah,
did.
it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A
'Cause they're
bunch
dead.
of people who don't live here anymore. I
'Cause they're
couldn't
dead.
have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
Yes.
More than that.
They're all
I
dead.
wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose.
They're
they all
dead.
shared.
We know Richard's
Perhaps it
dead.
could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to
Said
break
the
through.
age Freya is
Eventually, I
now.
couldn't take it anymore.
Freya's
I
not
found my
dead.
way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Yes. Sure,
Mistids. Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
It's the cryptids.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians,
All the cryptids.
anything living
Like Boggy
off the
from the
lake
previous
water.
game.
The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like
Boggy.
cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
Yes,
A little
Grimoire.
egregious, isn't it?
Thank you for finally
Suspect
catching up
it
with the
was
rest
an
of us.
intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
Boggy,
How
for
do you
instance.
know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones. The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of a misted mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of misted mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And what happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They're all
They
dead.
didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics.
Like Richard.
Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the
That's
thought
weird.
that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She
Alright,
arrived
this all
the
checks.
next day.
This all checks out.
Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that?
Yeah.
The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Ah, well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
Interesting. So that wasn't for Freya.
You stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique?
Of course.
Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Yeah, that's a great question. The Will of Freya Fellow. So was all that just bullshit about her and Fitz? Like what? So now that we know these two are the same person, I guess the nose is the same. Holy shit. Alright. Let's go!
Simply
Let's
put,
see the
Freya
denouement.
was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yes, we did.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all 3 families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study.
Uh-oh.
Found your notes. Found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
True.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's
The beetle's still
here?
there. Oh no.
It's still inside the gramophone.
The bird. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. We got. Also, we know she didn't kill Richard. Everstone killed Richard. On accident. And she took the boat.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
Of course she
She
did.
did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny
Wait,
got
is that a
away.
real
I'm
bird?
afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
Beetle.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No,
Fuck
I'm not.
no.
It doesn't belong to anyone. So,
Eat it.
I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again.
Feed it to the bird
I think
hat.
that's what she would have wanted.
I really want it to be eaten by a bird or something. How did Penny get the rope untied? We tied her up for a reason. what's her name? Hawkshaw. We should have guessed Hawkbird. So we figured out most of it except Penny, whom I love even more now. But definitely some unanswered questions there at the very end. Why? I still don't understand why she killed Freya. Just weird. Yeah, why kill Freya instead of just leave? Yeah, so she discovered the room. So what? You can't prove anything. Yeah, that doesn't quite make sense. Let's check out the art gallery. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, this is nice. The point of Hawkshaw initially is to provide a contrast with Grimoire, where Grimoire is friendly, open, and emotionally reactive. Hawkshaw is blunt, stern, and emotionally closed off. As a detective, Hawkshaw is a perfectionist, so her design is all sharp angles and clean lines. She never wastes any energy, even keeping her arms hidden under her cloak unless she needs some. Freya. Fitz is an insect character, butterflies in particular. Oh my god, these are amazing. The joke began, the penny simply treats it as if it were a normal hat. It's my hat. Grimoire is sticky to get right. He needs to be flexible, a mix of silly and heroic. Importantly, he can be totally sincere when he wants to be. God, I love Sally. Perfect. My hair down her back in a long plate when redesigning her for the game. I quickly realized this made for a really cluttered silhouette, so I changed it to the bunches. The aspect of Sally's face is her eyeshadow, accentuating her slightly unimpressed default facial expression. Yes, we love Sally. We never did hear anything from Flora. Oh my god. There's a lot of notes. Well, that was Tangle Tower. Not as good as the first game, I don't think. There's a little bit more obtuse puzzles here. The motive doesn't quite add up. And it doesn't acknowledge the previous game and the fact that Richard Remington is in the previous game and not killed by Penny. So that's interesting that this just isn't, I guess, canonical with Detective Grimoire, despite the same characters, I guess. We also didn't have the little girl from the previous, I guess, 2 games. I haven't played the original Detective Grimoire, but we didn't have the weird little girl this time. So I don't know what's up with that. I guess she just it didn't make sense for her to be here. But she didn't really make sense to be in Detective Grimoire. Anyways, I'm not thrilled with the lack of consistency between the games, the lack of continuity. But who knows? Mermaid Scale is coming out later this year. I will definitely be playing that on stream. And I'm looking forward to that. So, thank you all for being here. This has been yet another Detective Grimoire detective game completed.